Another day, another story. How to be happy in this busy world. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where we're committed to assisting you with finding the keys to certified bliss and a satisfying life. Glowing star. Is it true that you are worn out on pursuing joy and not tracking down it? In this video, I am jumping profound into the science and specialty of bliss, sharing down-to-earth advances that can lead you to a more joyful and more significant life. Rainbow, here is a sneak look of what you'll realize. Appreciation and care. Find how developing appreciation and rehearsing care can reshape your point of view and bring greater inspiration into your day-to-day encounters. Positive connections. Gain proficiency with the significance of encircling yourself with strong and inspiring individuals, and investigate techniques to upgrade your connections and make further associations. Reason and importance. Figure out how having a feeling of direction and taking part in exercises that line up with your qualities can essentially add to your general bliss and life fulfillment. Taking care of oneself and prosperity. We'll share taking care of oneself practices that support your physical, mental, and close-to-home prosperity, assisting you with building flexibility and adapt better to life's difficulties. Embracing development. Investigate the idea of self-awareness and consistent advancing as integral assets for helping confidence and encouraging a positive outlook. Relishing life's delights. Uncover the craft of enjoying the little delights throughout everyday life, appreciating them completely, and making enduring recollections that give you pleasure even in testing times. Keep in mind, joy is an excursion, not an objective. Our central goal is to outfit you with significant bits of knowledge and methodologies that can lead you towards supportable joy. Along these lines, assuming you're prepared to leave on this extraordinary excursion, hit that buy-in button and join our local area of joy searchers. Try not to allow one more day to go by without making strides towards the joy you merit. Check out our video and begin opening the key to a more brilliant and more cheerful life today. Sunflower, glowing star. Why individuals are upset. The justifications for why individuals probably won't feel blissful are mind-boggling and can differ from one individual to another. Here are a few normal factors that can add to an absence of joy. Neglected assumptions. Unreasonable assumptions regarding life, connections, and individual accomplishments can prompt disillusionment and a feeling of disappointment. Correlations. Continually contrasting oneself with others, particularly through online entertainment, can make serious insecurities and despondency. Stress and difficulties. Managing pressure, challenges, and troublesome life-altering situations, for example, employment misfortune, medical problems, or individual mishaps can influence in general prosperity. Absence of satisfaction. Not taking part in exercises that line up with one's interests, or feeling of direction can bring about a sensation of vacancy. Negative idea examples. Tenacious negative reasoning, self-analysis, and an emphasis on issues instead of arrangements can add to misery. Relationship issues. Stressed connections, dejection, or clashes with friends and family can essentially influence close-to-home prosperity. Monetary worries. Monetary precariousness and stresses over cash can prompt pressure and an absence of inward feeling of harmony. Undesirable way of life. Poor actual well-being, absence of activity, deficient rest, and a horrible eating routine can all affect state of mind and joy. Absence of social help. Not having major areas of strength for a framework or feeling detached from loved ones can prompt sensations of dejection and trouble. Psychological wellness conditions. Conditions like melancholy, tension, and other emotional well-being issues can significantly affect one's capacity to encounter bliss. Absence of balance between serious and fun activities, long working hours, unnecessary occupation-related pressure, and an absence of time for individual interests and unwinding can add to misery. Natural variables. Living in a climate with elevated degrees of contamination, wrongdoing, or other adverse impacts can influence, generally speaking, prosperity. Unfulfilled objectives. Having dreams or objectives that stay unfulfilled can make a feeling of stagnation and misery. It's vital to perceive that satisfaction is a perplexing and diverse inclination, and various individuals have various explanations behind feeling despondent. Moreover, joy is definitely not a consistent state and is impacted by different interior and outer elements. Looking for help from companions, family, and experts, rehearsing taking care of oneself, and embracing a positive outlook can all add to more prominent bliss and prosperity. Client. What kind of eventual outcomes can be the point at which one is distraught? At the point when somebody is disturbed, it can have a scope of adverse consequences on their general prosperity, psychological wellness, and day-to-day existence. Here are a few normal eventual outcomes of drawn-out despondency. Psychological well-being issues. Determined misery can add to or intensify emotional well-being conditions like despondency, tension, and, surprisingly, more serious problems. These circumstances can additionally affect one's considerations, feelings, and ways of behaving. Actual well-being. Misery and constant pressure can negatively affect actual well-being. It can debilitate the resistant framework, increment the gamble of coronary illness, upset rest designs, and add to a throbbing painfulness. Relationship strain. Despondency can prompt touchiness, negative mindset, and decreased persistence, which can strain associations with family, companions, and partners. Diminished efficiency. When people are troubled, their capacity to think, center, and be useful can be compromised, influencing their presentation at work or in different everyday issues. Segregation. Despondency could lead people to pull out from social associations and confine themselves from companions and friends and family, which can add to sensations of dejection and can fuel the absence of satisfaction. Absence of inspiration. When miserable, people could lose interest in exercises they once appreciated, prompting diminished inspiration to take part in leisure activities, work, or personal growth. Negative confidence. Misery can add to negative self-discernment and decreased confidence, as people could zero in on their apparent deficiencies or disappointments. Rumination. Misery can prompt tedious and pessimistic idea designs, where people ruminate on their concerns without finding arrangements, which can sustain sensations of trouble. Risk ways of behaving. Trying to adapt to despondency, a few people could go to unfortunate methods for dealing with hardship or stress, for example, substance misuse, indulging, or participating in dangerous ways of behaving. Influence on independent direction. Misery can cloud judgment and lead to hasty navigation or aversion of significant life decisions. Decreased versatility. When people are reliably despondent, their capacity to return from difficulties and mishaps may be compromised. Decreased life fulfillment. Delayed despondency can prompt an in general diminished feeling of life fulfillment and prevent the capacity to encounter bliss and happiness. It's vital to proactively address misery and its eventual outcomes. Looking for help from companions, family, or experts, for example, specialists or guides, can be useful in exploring these difficulties. Rehearsing taking care of oneself, embracing positive ways of dealing with hardship or stress, participating in exercises that give pleasure, and zeroing in on self-awareness are steps that can add to working on generally satisfaction and prosperity. Client instructions to defeat these impacts. Beating the impacts of despondency and developing a more certain and satisfying life requires purposeful exertion and a blend of systems. Here are a few stages you can take to conquer these impacts. Look for proficient assistance. In the event that your misery is relentless and influencing your day-to-day existence, think about looking for help from an emotional well-being proficient, like a specialist or guide. They can give direction, devices, and methodologies to assist you with exploring your feelings and difficulties. Practice taking care of oneself. Focus on taking care of oneself exercises that sustain your physical, mental, and close-to-home prosperity. This incorporates getting sufficient rest, eating a reasonable eating regimen, participating in normal actual work, and committing time to unwinding and self-reflection. Develop positive connections. Encircle yourself with steady and positive individuals who inspire and support you. Fortify existing connections and search out chances to associate with other people who share your inclinations and values. Care and contemplation. Rehearsing care and reflection can assist you with turning out to be more mindful of your viewpoints and feelings, and foster more noteworthy versatility to stress and pessimistic feelings. These practices can likewise advance a feeling of quiet and harmony. Challenge negative considerations. Work on distinguishing and testing negative idea designs. Supplant self-basic or critical considerations with additional fair and practical ones. Mental social treatment procedures can be especially useful in such manner. Participate in exercises you appreciate. Set aside a few minutes for exercises that give you pleasure and satisfaction. Participating in side interests, imaginative pursuits, or exercises that line up with your inclinations can give a feeling of achievement and satisfaction. Put forth feasible objectives, separate bigger objectives into more modest, attainable advances. Progress and achievements, regardless of how little, can help your certainty and inspiration. Practice appreciation, routinely find opportunity to ponder the things you're thankful for. Developing a feeling of appreciation can move your concentration toward the good parts of your life. Limit virtual entertainment, be aware of the effect of web-based entertainment on your state of mind and confidence. Consider diminishing your experience on stages that add to pessimistic correlations and insecurities. Learn pressure the board procedures.